Our next presentation is a joint one again. It's by AP Hettihewa and IM Karunathilake, an evaluation of teaching styles of advanced level science stream teachers in Colombo district schools.
Good evening, everyone. I am Hettihewa, a BSc Physiotherapy graduate from Allied Health Sciences Unit, Faculty of Medicine, University of Colombo. I am here to share my findings on teaching styles of teachers in advanced level science stream classes in Colombo district schools. Teaching styles. Teaching styles are different approaches or principles of teaching. Every teacher has their own preferred teaching style. According to the literature, teaching styles can be categorized in various ways as experts, delegates, student-centered teachers, and teacher-centered teachers. From these categories, student-centered teaching and teacher-centered teaching is considered as one of the main ways of categorizing. In student-centered teaching, students play a more active role with teachers as facilitators, and in teacher-centered teaching, teachers are more active in the role of information providers, with students in a more passive role. And studies have identified that student-centered teaching is one of the best approaches you can find in teaching styles. And Sri Lankan universities and other higher education centers, I'm sorry, just give me a second. So as I was saying, Sri Lankan universities and other higher education centers are currently moving towards a more student-centered approach in their teaching. So it is essential for the Sri Lankan higher education teachers to have an understanding of their teaching styles so that they can better assess their students to better adapt to the teaching styles of higher education. So with this goal in mind, my study aimed at identifying the preferred teaching styles of secondary education teachers to assess the relationship between their teaching style, teaching experience, age, and gender, and to identify the indicative factors within a teaching style. My study followed an analytical cross-sectional study design and was carried out in 25 Colombo district schools with advanced level science stream classes. A cluster sampling method was used and each school was considered as a cluster. 176 teachers participated in the study and data was collected using two self-administered questionnaires, the Principles of Adult Learning Scale and Van Tilburg-Heimich Teaching Belief Scale. Data analysis was done using the 16th version of SPSS. Identifying the teaching styles and analyzing the indicative factors of the teaching styles was done using descriptive analysis, and identifying the relationship between teaching style, age, and teaching experience was done using correlations. A chi-square test was used to assess the difference of teaching style based on gender. So, now let me come to the results of my study. And 176 teachers participated in this study at a response rate of 62.8%, and majority of them were females. From the findings, I could identify two clear groups within the sample as student-centered teachers and teacher-centered teachers. 94.8% of the sample, or 167 participants, preferred a teacher-centered approach, and just 9 participants, or 5.2% of the sample, preferred a student-centered approach. And there was a negative correlation with age, teaching experience with teaching style, indicating that older and more experienced teachers preferred a teacher-centered approach to teaching. This may be due to the fact that more experienced teachers are usually older, and older teachers prefer a more traditional approach in teaching, and they might have less interaction with students. And there was also a statistically significant difference of teaching styles based on gender, with female teachers preferring a more student-centered approach than the male teachers. This might be due to the fact that I have a very small sample in the student-centered category. There are just 9 people in that sample. So it is really difficult to interpret this data in a way that it can be generalizable to a larger population with a small sample. However, previous studies on the topic have found similar results, that female teachers are more friendly and student-centered in their approach, where male teachers are more dominating and teacher-centered. From these findings, I found 7 indicative factors of teaching styles as learner-centered activities, personalizing instructions, relating to experience, assessing student needs, climate building, participation in learning process, and flexibility in personal development. As you can see in this graph, the commonest factor was participation in the learning process, and the least common one was learner-centered activities. This further indicates that the student-centered approach and student-centered teaching methods were not common within the sample. So now I am coming to the end of my presentation. So in conclusion, I found that majority of the sample of the teachers, I prefer the teacher-centered teaching style, and a teacher's teaching style is affected by their age, gender, and their teaching style. Thank you.